JDiv is back at it here to give everyone another Chicago Bulls related video as the NBA trade deadline has passed. And at the moment, the Chicago Bulls have decided to stick with the players that they currently have. Now, on a side note, I was going to make a video last night that would have been uploaded this morning at 7 a.m. Central Time, my usual upload time, talking about my expectations for this year's trade deadline, whom I want the Bulls to acquire, and what I would be willing to give up. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances and lots of things going on during the day, during the evening, and during the night, I was unable to make that video. And then, of course, today I worked till 5 p.m. Central Time. So I was unable to make it. No big deal. Just want to talk about the player that I wanted the Bulls to acquire, even though it's not going to happen now. And I don't want to copy another channel, but Bulls Central kind of already alluded to this. The guy, I think I made my mind up on this about a week and a half ago, just based on the fact that we wouldn't really have to give up much for him because the Clippers wanted to cut salary. I wanted Serge Ibaka on the Bulls because he's a veteran. He's won a championship before. He plays great defense. He can be a perimeter defender, and he gets rebounds. Maybe not the physical and like dominant shot blocker that he used to be, but he's adequate. Which right now we got a bunch of small guys playing that role. So I really wanted Serge Ibaka. We probably would have been able to get him for Troy Brown Jr. in our trade exception, possibly, or Troy Brown Jr., our second-round pick, and our trade exception. It wasn't going to cost us that much at all. And at the moment, I don't really like Troy Brown Jr. anymore. I liked him last year, but he hasn't really shown me much this year. So I really wanted Serge Ibaka. Of course, we know that the Milwaukee Bucks have acquired Serge Ibaka. And I think that's a move that's gone under the radar. I think the Bucks might be primed to repeat, as odd as it seems. I know that the 76ers acquired James Harden. I'm not really sold on James Harden as a player. I don't think he'll ever win an NBA championship. And, of course, the Nets got Ben Simmons. Now, the other guy that I wanted the Bulls to potentially get, because it wouldn't cost us barely anything, is Paul Millsap, because I think he could have been sent over to us, and he would have been able to start right away if he wanted to, unless we would have started Javonte Green instead. But I think Paul Millsap has a lot left in the tank, and he just kind of got buried on the Nets bench. Now, he got traded along with Harden to the 76ers. I don't think Millsap is a candidate to get bought out, but, I mean, if he is, I would like to revisit acquiring Paul Millsap via the buyout. And then, of course, today, the Spurs traded Thaddeus Young to the Raptors. Now, if Thaddeus Young gets bought out by the Raptors, then the Bulls have if he gets bought out, he can sign with the Bulls again, and we can bring Thaddeus back. And I would love to see Thaddeus back on the Bulls if that's who we have to acquire. Because we need some bodies on this team. Now, obviously, we have a full roster right now. There's going to be a couple players that we're going to have to release, like Alfonso McKinney or Matt Thomas. We need some size on this team, and we're going to get somebody via buyout. Now, I'm a little worried about our guard situation. I mean, we got Levine, we got Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, when he's healthy and off the concussion protocol. I wouldn't mind us going after another guard just in the meantime while Caruso and Lonzo Ball recover from their injuries, because they're going to be out another month approximately. More than a month, actually. Probably all of March. Or late March they'll be back, and we need more guards, because I don't like Matt Thomas and Kobe White being the only guys that we have coming off the bench, at least that guard. And I know we have other players that could probably fill that role too, but the main guys are that. So if Gordon Dragic gets bought out, he went to the Mavericks, I could see us bringing him in. Dennis Schroeder went to the Rockets. I'm sure he'll get bought out because it doesn't make any sense at all. If he wants to sign with the Bulls for the the minimum, and we have just that insurance policy on the bench, he probably won't play a lot once everybody gets healthy. But hey, who knows if everybody stays healthy? Injuries happen. So I would like to see the Bulls make some moves on the buyout market. Thaddeus Young, Paul Millsap, if he happens to get bought out. Tristan Thompson. I've never really liked Tristan Thompson as a player, just because Tristan Thompson was with LeBron on Cleveland, and I tend not to like the Cavaliers, especially when LeBron's there. And don't get me wrong, I actually like LeBron James as a player. I think he's a phenomenal talent in the NBA. Just was tired of the Bulls losing to the Cavaliers and the Heat and any other team that LeBron was on, essentially. So those are my thoughts. I really wanted the Bulls, though, to get Serge Ibaka. I thought he would have been a great fit on this team because he can start at power forward. And, when Patrick Williams gets back, if he does get back, he can slide into the bench and be our backup center and backup power forward, and he would have been great. I'm kind of glad we didn't go after a guy like Christian Wood or Jeremy Grant because they would have costed too much. Marvin Bagley, the third, I wasn't really sold on him, and he actually got traded to the Pistons. It was like a 4-team trade or 3-team trade. So we didn't do anything yet, but obviously there's some buyout candidates that the Bulls could go after. I do not want Kevin Love. I sense we might take a look at him, though, if he gets bought out. But, I mean, the Cavaliers are a contender now, so he'll probably stick with them because he's doing really good as a sixth-man candidate here. So let me know your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls. What did you think of the trade deadline? If you're a fan of the Chicago Bulls, or if you adore the Bulls and you want to help out with the YouTube algorithm, go ahead and smash that like button. If you know anybody that would be interested in any Chicago Bulls related content, you can share the video with them. Again, sound off in the comment section about your thoughts. Are you mad that the Bulls didn't make a deal? I thought there was a possibility that we might trade Lonzo Ball or Caruso if we could get the right player, just because they're not going to help us for like a month. But we didn't, and I'm kind of glad about that. But I did really want Serge Ibaka. And if all it would have costed was Troy Brown Jr., a second, and maybe our trade exception, have it. It's fine with me. And of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. I'm always trying to grow the channel. Of course, I need your help to do so. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.